Hey, 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 you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. Today, I'm answering your questions that you sent in regarding twin flames and your journey. So, I know many of you are becoming addicted to tea. I'm drinking tea, and pause the video. Did you go and get one? Wow, we could change worlds with tea. I don't know. It's just so good. So good. Now, before we start answering the questions, today I want to show you my two little trees. In a second I'll get there. Here we go. Okay. So, someone in my area is, at the market here. At a little shop actually, makes these little trees, and they're just literally wire with gemstones and little rocks. But I just thought, how beautiful is this one here for, the throat chakra and being able to speak your truth. And then this one here is actually made of citrine, which is a little stone, which is great for manifesting abundance in all areas of your life. So I just wanted to bring you clarity today and also bring you some abundance today. And that's my intention. In every video, I want you to feel good, okay? I want you to feel happy, feel good, be in your highest version or vibration that is you. So some of the questions here today are very, very beautiful, and I want to thank you for sending them in. I also am just getting my notes together here because I wanted just to start with a few of the notes here that I have, so that we can discuss twin flames and the twin flame journey a little bit more in depth. Now, many of you may or may not have heard of Plato, but he is a philosopher. And if you've, been to university or studied philosophy, usually they'll mention Plato and Descartes, spelled Descartes. But Plato, he in ancient Greece used to speak in the symposium, which was, a place where really intelligent people with, who wanted to speak their truth and whether that was about science or about architecture or mathematics, they could talk on different topics. And so I want to bring Plato up today in this discussion and let you know that he described that the soul was split apart from an original ovoid. Okay, so it was apparently originally an oval shape, and then it split, each split apart, and each half is known as a twin or a twin flame. And this shares many of the same personality traits as the others, as the other half of the soul, okay, including some characteristics and in some cases the appearance. So if you've ever met twin flames before and seen them together, sometimes you'll notice that they can kind of have some of the same little characteristics. They might, curl their nose up in a certain way, or they might, just have the same way of moving or way of being. They might even finish each other's sentences, like actual twins. If you think of identical twins, some of that mirroring that goes on with identical twins can also happen with twin flames, okay? Now, let me get to my next bit here. Okay, so another theory, I'll get back to Plato in a minute, but another theory is that the mirror soul, or the soul connection, the other part of your soul, have ascended or vibrated into a high enough frequency that they've split apart and landed into separate bodies. So this would suggest that twin flames are in some way more ascended, and so within that ascension they've been able to get to a high enough vibration that they can split into two and go into separate bodies. Okay. So I want to focus now on some of these questions, and then I'm going to bring in some of the other interesting information as I do. Some of the stuff I already knew the answers to, and some of the questions I've looked into and studied, for quite some time. So I've been, researching and evaluating information on twin flames, and also have experience with working with many clients as well. So let's go to the first question. Okay, so the first question is, how will I know when divine timing is? I get the concept just a little bit, and that is when things are supposed to come together for my twin and I. I'm curious if I will know if it's divine timing or just him. Okay, so this is a really great question, because basically it's saying, when my twin finally does come and we come into union, is this happening because of some kind of divine intervention, or is it happening because, he finally woke up and decided to hurry up, let's say, right? So it's a really great question. All right, I'm not sure if the person asking this question has seen my other videos. I mean, I look at my video list and at the moment there's over 400. So, you may not have seen every single video. So I'm just going to explain this concept really quickly here. Alrighty, so I like to think of the twin flame, I kind of call it twin flame symmetry, where you've got the two twins here residing on Earth, and then you've got the creator, and I'm just putting the creator there, I guess you could say, up in heaven if you believe in religion, or in the ethers, or in the universe, or whoever you believe your creator is. I don't know, it's kind of not really that important. I'm not going to delve into who I think you should believe in or any of that kind of thing, but as we look and focus upon our twin, okay, this actually, as you know, it's like, I'm going to give the horse example because I love this one. But if you've got an apple, okay, so you're the instructor, all right? You're the horse instructor, and you're trying to do this horse whispering technique, and you've decided that you're going to chase after the horse, your twin flame, aka your twin flame, with this apple, right? So let's use Donkey. Here's Donkey. He loves to bite my finger. If we use Donkey as an example here, I've got an apple in my hand, and he can see the apple, which is the unconditional love, right? But all of a sudden I'm going to start trying to convince him that he needs the apple. So I might run up to him and I might say, this is the best apple you've ever eaten, that you'll ever have in your life. This is the most wonderful thing, how come we can't be together yet? Surely you want this apple, right? And Donkey's going to go, say what? and see you later, right? He's gone. Because he's like, if it was, maybe it's a poison apple. If she's trying to actually throw it at me and give it to me this badly, there must be something wrong, And this is an energy thing more than anything. If you chase something down, it's going to run away. If, on the other hand, I decide to hold on to this apple, being the unconditional love here, right? I'm going to turn around with my unconditional love. So it's still there. I haven't taken it anywhere. I've still got it. I'm still loving this person. But I'm going to turn around, and then Donkey's going to come back and go, hey, where's the apple? Hey, he's going to follow the apple, right? So getting back to the question, how will I know when divine timing is? I get the concept just a little bit, and this is when things are supposed to come together for my twin. How will I know if it's just me or him? Well, the thing is with divine timing is that, you and your twin were made by the Creator, whoever that is for you. Okay, for some it's God, some Allah, some Buddha, or whatever deity or whatever universal concept you believe in. Okay, so obviously within that creation, you need to understand that there is this divine source. Obviously the world we live in, comes from some divine source, all right? And so the divinity here is in having the faith and knowing that at the exact right time, your twin flame's going to come in. Okay. But if you know about certain concepts with regard to divine timing, as you ascend, or as your vibration becomes higher and you're in emotions of feeling happiness, bliss, joy, enjoyment, right? Then the divine, whether you believe in angels or God or whoever it is, can see that you have learned what you need to learn, and that you are becoming whole within yourself. Okay, so you're not relying on anyone around you to feel this happiness from within. So this is something that comes from the divine, but you will do this ascension in your own timing. So it's divine, and it's also within your own time. So it is divine timing, but you can speed this process up if you know what you're doing. So if you know how to manifest quickly, right, then you can speed up coming into union with your twin flame. It's actually a lot easier than what you think. Okay, so because you have the reason. Okay, so the last part of the question was, you're curious if it's divine timing or just him. Well, it's actually got nothing to do with him at all. It's got everything to do with you and nothing to do with him. Okay, so it really doesn't matter what he's doing in his physical world. It only matters what you're doing in your own internal world. Okay. And this is where my Ascension course comes in. So any of you that have done my Ascension course will know, a lot of you have come into union with your twin flame, which is great. But a lot of you will know how much better you start feeling when you do that. So regardless of donkey over here, your divine masculine being the donkey, right? You know, when you met him, there was that bubble love phase, and you had this, this wonderful feeling when you were together, this blissful feeling, this attraction, and then all of a sudden there was separation. Okay, so I'm telling you that divine timing comes into play, but you can adjust it by knowing the secret of how to manifest your twin flame, which is another video I also do. So So what you do with your soul, okay, is important. What you do with your energy, which is connected to your soul, is really important. So I think I've answered this question. How will you know when divine timing is? It's really not, the divine have put you down here, and the timing is kind of really up to you. It's not, I wouldn't say it's up to the divine at all. I mean, it kind of is and kind of isn't. It's a difficult question, because as you believe or you have faith, you kind of, it's divine in that way. You know what I mean? So if you pray or if you believe in some kind of thing, then divine timing is at play. But if you just believe that, it depends on your perception here. So if you believe, because whatever you believe, you create. Okay, that's a whole nother video. So if you believe that your union, this is an example, if you believe that your union is really, really, really far away, then that's what you're going to manifest, because that's what you're putting inside of your vibration. Okay, so it's like that person that goes, I don't know, that negative person that says, I never get to go first, at the game or something like that. Let's say it's a kid playing, I never get picked first for basketball. Let's say it's a kid, right? I never get picked first, and so they never get picked first. You know what I mean? It's like that. So if you constantly believe that union is this far away place, this place that you can't get to, then that's what it will become. And this is why some people are on the journey for years and years and years, because they just believe that it's not going to happen. So it's kind of divine timing and it's kind of not. So let's go to the next question. Okay, when we are in separation, focusing on ourselves and having blind faith, how can we simply know they will be back? No contact. Okay, trying hard to focus on the self. Okay, here we go. This question kind of ties into the last question. I like how you've said having blind faith. Okay, so that would denote that you don't believe that your faith is going to help you. Which is kind of a problem, because, if you were religious or spiritual and you did pray and you didn't believe your prayers were going to be answered, then you would be putting that into your actual vibration. Okay, so the theme coming up so far is that we can understand that our thoughts are creative. Okay, so if we believe a certain thing, then it will kind of manifest in that way. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. It's kind of like if you wake up in the morning and you think you're going to stub your toe. You wake up in the morning and you stub your toe. You've got two choices. You can either say ouch and move on with your day, or you can go, ouch, of course this was going to happen today. Nothing good is going to come of this, and then you're already on that mind trajectory of negativity, which of course brings your vibration down, and so you kind of just are already going to have a shit day because you've kind of manifested it. So, and I understand this question well, because waiting for your twin flame is like waiting for Christmas when you're 3 years old. Like, that seems like a lifetime away. Okay, so what you need to do, and this is really important. All right, we can all just do this now as a little exercise. I want you to close your eyes and think of the most blissful, beautiful, wonderful time you ever had in your whole life. So I'm going to give you a moment to do this, and this is part of this question, by the way. I know it seems irrelevant, but it's actually joined up. All right, so close your eyes and imagine the most blissful thing that's ever happened to you. It might be a childhood memory, it might be, I don't know, a dream that you had that made you feel amazing. It might be that you did this meditation and felt blissful afterwards, or I want you to feel that feeling. I want you to feel that feeling, and feel that feeling, feel that feeling. And as you feel that feeling, I want you to then connect it to your twin flame. Okay, because in this question, right, it says, when we are in separation, focusing on ourselves, having blind faith, how can we simply know that they will be back? No contact, trying hard to focus on the self. All right, so instead of going, I'm focusing on myself, I've had a bubble bath, I've eaten well, I'm doing this diet, I'm doing everything right, and being in that frustrated mode because you may be checking your phone to see if they're texting or waiting for the call or whatever. Don't even do that. Just consciously go into that space of the most blissful, joyfulest, that's not even a word, joyful moment that you ever had in your life, right? And then connect that feeling to your twin flame. All right. So, because right now this question is showing me that you have a disconnect. When are they going to be back? They may never be back. This is starting that conversation in the mind that's telling me that you think that they may not even come back. Don't ever think they're not going to come back. Ever, ever, ever think that. Right? Every time you think of them in a blissful way. Feel that feeling. As an example, it might be that the best feeling you ever had was when you went to the airport and you saw your mum and dad and your little cousin who was 3, and they came running towards you, and you can remember how it felt as they were running towards you. You hadn't seen them for 6 months, and you hugged them and you just felt that bliss. All right, have that feeling inside of you, whatever it is. It might be a dream state, could be anything. Then connect it to your twin and see what happens. All right. So your twin has the same soul as you. They can feel you. All right. So as you stay in this highest vibration of joy and bliss, right, they can't help but be attracted to the joy and the bliss that is you. Even if they're down here not experiencing joy and bliss, if they're down in their own vibration having a terrible time in their karmic life, they also want to experience joy and bliss, right? So this draws them in. This is the magnet that pulls them in. Okay. So do this consciously. So of course you never know when they're going to come back. You never do know, and that's why the twin flame journey is so hard. Some people haven't even met their twin flame yet, and they're yearning and longing for the one to come into their lives. Some people have been lonely for years and haven't even met their twin. If they don't come back to you ever, it means that they perhaps weren't your twin and they could have been your false twin. That's also that's a whole nother topic video. Alrighty. The next question, let's move on now. How long is the average time for union? Well, it kind of all depends on you, how long it's going to be. I literally know of people that manifested the union with their twin within a couple of months. And then I know people who have taken 10 years or more mostly because they didn't know about the energetic thing that you need to do. That's the most important thing ever. If you need help with that, contact me for my manifesting twin flame video. Okay, because what's going on is that most twin flames are associating the twin flame journey with the normal dating relationship scenario. And I recently did a video on this, 3D versus 5D, just a few videos ago actually. And it's not a third dimensional reality relationship. I mean, it'll end up being that, but it's the soul wanting to have a relationship with the soul, right? So it's an energetic connection. So the best way to feel your twin, even if you're, I was going to say, even when you're texting them, close your eyes, but that might be a bit hard. But if you were texting them and you closed your eyes, you'll be able to feel them. If you close your eyes now, you'll be able to feel them, right? The more and more and more you go within, the more spiritual or religious kind of practice that you do on yourself, the more you know yourself and the higher vibration that you can come to, the more you can ascend, right? The quicker union will become. Because as you ascend, I said this before, you raise your vibration up to this level. And of course, your frequency is at a high level. And this is what attracts in your twin. Because you'll probably know that when you first attracted your twin, you were feeling kind of, maybe you just had a shift and you started awakening, or maybe you were focused on something exciting in your life, or I don't know, but there'll be something that you were doing that when you felt good when you first met them, and then you met them and of course you already were feeling sort of good. Most times, 9 times out of 10 you would have been feeling fairly good when you met them, and then you would have had that recognition and gone, wow, you know, I've never met anyone like you, and that whole thing goes on. So yeah, the average time for union really is dependent upon you, but it can be anywhere from just a few months to, you know, a decade or more. I guess you could say, if we're going to average that out, I guess that would be what, 5 years? But it can be really quick if you know what you're doing, all right? Because it's all about you. The twin flame journey is actually all about you. And that's why I made the Ascension course, so that you can come into union first and foremost with yourself, and then your twin flame. We just click our fingers like I'm trying to think who did that. Oh, Happy Days, Fonzie just clicked his fingers and all the women just floated around him. Alrighty, let's see what's next, because I want to answer all the questions. This is a great question. Am I the karmic? Am I the karmic? Wow. Okay, well, first and foremost, if you're the twin flame, and you're not sure whether your twin flame is your twin flame, you can contact me and I will actually tell you whether I believe it's your twin flame or not. Because if it's not your twin flame, then you would be the karmic for sure. So karmics, let me talk about karmics for a little minute. Karmics are to help us with soul growth, okay? So even if you've got a really shit boss in your life at work that you absolutely hate, that's a total narcissist that makes you do extra work and keeps you overtime, that's a karmic in your life. And what lesson are they teaching you? Well, only you can work that out. Maybe you need to quit that job. Or maybe you need to have boundaries that say, listen, I'm not going to I don't care who she is, I'm not going to work for that. You know what I mean? Depends on what the lesson is that's being learned. But there are good karmics too. You know, some people have a fantastic mother or sister or brother or auntie or best friend, you know, and they set their world on fire, as in a good way, you know. So they can be good karmics. So if you think you're the karmic and you're not sure if it's your twin flame, it could be a false twin flame. I've got a video in my playlist about false twin flames, you know, signs that this could be your false twin flame. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a psychic medium, and I can, if you send me a photo of you and your twin, I can see whether your souls match or not. But that's just something I can do. Not all twin flame readers and coaches can do that. And I would only ever tell you if you wanted to know the answer to that. So the other thing I want to just quickly mention is I had someone contact me regarding a reading a few months back, and they said to me, you know, I want to know this stuff, but please don't tell me about any bad stuff. So I think that's one of the biggest things that happens with readers, you know, especially knowing, you know, I'm a psychic medium, and I use the tarot cards for entertainment purposes only, so that it's a bit more fun, and because I love the tarot as well. But if you do want a reading with me, a personal reading, please know that I will only ever answer the questions that you give to me. So, you know, if you book a reading with me, oh my God, I'm tongue twisted. You can ask me up to 8 questions, okay, for a 30-minute or an hour reading. And if I see something in the cards that's non-related to your question, I'll only ever focus on the positive stuff. So I'm not going to tell you that, you know, Aunt Bessie is going to pass away in a year from now, something like that. So please know that if you book a reading with me, I won't give any information that you don't want to know. Okay, so if you don't want me to say yes or no that that's your twin flame, I won't. I'll just simply do a reading based upon what comes out on the energies, but I would never give you information that you don't want, okay? Because you know, sometimes as a psychic medium, we do know what's going to happen. You know, we do know about people that may pass away, or we do know that, you know, certain things in the future that could happen. And in my opinion, it's not for us to say anything unless we've been asked the question. All right. I think I told you once before, but I actually went to a tarot reader many years ago. No, a palm reader. Sorry, she wasn't a tarot reader. She probably did both. But anyway, she told me at the time that she could see when my mother was going to pass away. And then and then as well when my nana was going to. And then she said, and did I want to know when? And of course, me being young and dumb and stupid, I went, yeah, I'd love to know, you know. And so I was sobbing for many hours, many hours after that reading. And I wished that she'd never even brought that up with me, because that's something that, you know, is highly personal to someone. And she was actually spot on with her timing, but, you know, that's irrelevant. So I just wanted to let you know that if you book a reading with me and you ask me questions, I will only answer the questions that you want me to answer. You know what I mean? All right. The next question. Do you think everyone has a twin and they just aren't on the journey? Or do I think only some people have twins? Okay, so let me get back to my notes. Where have I put them here? Okay, so according to, here we go. According to both Plato and the Quran, which is the Islamic text, they believe everyone has a twin. So let me just read you some of my notes here. Okay, so according to the Quran, Allah, which is the same word for God in Arabic, created everyone in pairs. Okay, now, if we cross-reference here and go just to New Age spirituality, there are many who believe and speak of the 144,000 and say that they are the light workers or the people on the earth, you know, and there's only 144,000 of us. Now, Plato, some Plato quotes from when he was in the symposium in ancient Greece. You might find these interesting and some may resonate for you. So I'll just read them. And when one of them meets with his other half, the actual half of himself, the pair are lost in an amazement of love and friendship and intimacy, and one will not be out of the other's sight even for a moment. He also said, love is born into every human being. It calls back the halves of our original nature together. It tries to make one out of two and heal the wound of human nature. He then went on to say, love is the name for our pursuit of wholeness, for our desire to be complete. And lastly, he said, love is simply the name for the desire and pursuit of the whole. Okay, so according to Plato and the Quran, we have this idea that everyone has another half, okay, you know, wandering around on the earth somewhere, which is kind of nice. You know, think Adam and Eve would be in the biblical kind of, you know, idea of it. I do believe that, in my opinion, that everyone does have a twin. However, I don't believe that everyone is on the twin flame journey because they're not ascended enough to be awake enough, right? To be awake enough. And Donkey's saying, what do you mean awake? We just got out of bed. You know what I mean? Awake enough, spiritually awake enough to even know this. Okay. So you would have met people in your life who, with no disrespect to them, but you know, they may be in their ego, they may be far from, you know, being awaked, right? And so you would think, well, wow, have they got a twin flame? Are they supposed to start a mission here on the earth? And what would their mission be? To slap other people? You know, with no disrespect to the Kardashians, but if you watch that show and take a look at some of the behaviors, it's kind of crazy, you know, like to think that people can behave in such a way. You know, no disrespect. I mean, everyone's on their own journey, okay? But there are some people, in my opinion, who are not ready to come into mission, who are not ready to heal the world, etc. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, in the spiritual sense. I mean, you know, I'm sure the Kardashians, I don't know, they do other things. But they're just an example of, you know, what I would not call being spiritually awake. And so I think it would be, I mean, that, you know, she may very well, one of, you know, the one that's married, I don't know, I don't even know really their proper names or anything, but she may very well be with her twin flame, but they could be in their distorted version of that. Okay, so it's like we all have a shadow side to us. We all have an ego. We all have a distorted part of us. All right. And that's when we come down in vibration and reside in the ego. And our frequency is residing up here where our soul sits. And so if we're down in that lower vibrational frequency, if we're being judgmental, if we're being shallow, if we're being angry, if we're being pissed off, if we're being anything other than unconditionally loving, then that's ego. Okay. So, sure, I believe that everyone has someone meant for them, but I don't believe that everyone is ready to be have a mission on the earth as a twin flame, because I don't know, that there's certain people that maybe we're not meant to learn from in a spiritual sense, if that makes sense. I do believe that, people with money, a lot of money, should be doing more to help other people. Okay, and that's just my view, my personal view on knowing that there's children starving, knowing that there's homeless, knowing that there's people with mental health issues, knowing that there's people who've been through trauma, knowing that there's women who've suffered, and men who've suffered from domestic violence in the world, and knowing that there's people starving in the world, and then watching a show like the Kardashians, and I don't mean to put them down in any way, but watching that and seeing them, like, how can they, I don't know, in a moral sense, how can they not be helping the planet? And I believe the same for Hollywood movie stars, and I also believe the same for people who have the means to help others and don't. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. So yes, I believe that everyone does have another half of their soul. In my opinion, yes, I do. But I believe that some aren't ready to know it. You know what I mean? Some aren't ready to know it. And if you do have the means to help the poor, or if you do have the means to help the orphans, or if you do have the means to help people in any way, if you have more than enough, then I would invite you to do that at the end of this video now. If you're still here and you're still listening to me, thank you for being a part of my channel. And if you don't know where to send your money, if you don't know what to do, you're more than welcome to send it to my PayPal link down below and write gift. And anyone who does send a gift and writes gift in the PayPal, I will, send to the charities that I believe in. I highly, highly, highly believe in helping children. I also believe in helping orphans, and I also try and give my time, especially to those who are having financial difficulties or mental health issues as well. So that's what I'm trying to do with my mission. All right. So if you feel guided to send any money, even if it's just a small amount, it doesn't matter. That will help the charities that I support, and it will also, I don't know, make you feel better, or like you're contributing in some way. If you don't know what to do or how to help, I can channel that love that you send to me, I can channel forward into something beautiful. Alrighty, so this is Fantastic Friday, answering your questions. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I think I've spoken for long enough. It's 44 as I just looked up then. That might be a message for some of you. And I think we'll continue to do a concept video every Friday from now on. So we can call it Fantastic Fridays or something like that. All right, so we'll say goodbye to Cookie, and I wish you all a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being with me here in Australia. Mwah. Sending blessings and much love. Bye, everyone. Bye.